January 3rd, 2013. This is what we talked about on the Blog Talk show today, guys, and it's very interesting, and it is in perfect timing with what we've been talking about. We've been talking about the locust army, what it is, demonic army, and more importantly than that, how to protect yourself. But guys, we're starting to see the technical side as well as the spiritual side of this. And as we dig deeper each day, it becomes more clear what is going on. Now, it's called the Large Hadron Collider, LLC, and they set it for a massive power boost. Now, what they're doing is, like it says, it's paving its way for a dramatic follow-up to discovering what they call the God particle. It says, according to researchers, work on the upgrade would be taking place throughout 2014, and by the end of the year, it's going to have its particle energy boosted from 8 trillion electrovolts, or teraelectrovolts, TeV, and you see these on our charts of the solar blast, to 14 trillion volts. They're building up their supply. This thing uses so much energy that for 3 months during the winter, they have to shut it down so that the area in Geneva, which is on the border of France and Switzerland, so they have enough electricity for heat. Another thing amazing about it, guys, is suddenly it's a rush from the world powers to contribute billions to this cause. Israel is the latest to just join. Now, why, with the world in its condition, austerity throughout Europe, the U.S. is in trouble economically. The whole world is. It's being propped up. But why now would billions of taxpayer dollars from every nation in the world and hundreds of scientists be working on this God particle project? I'm going to tell you what I think it is. But it says the refurbishment opens the possibility of solving the dark matter's mystery, finding proof of a far-reaching cosmic concept called supersymmetry, and even finding signs of extra hidden dimensions that help resolve the mystery of gravity. That's what they're reporting. The supersymmetry says that for every matter particle, exists a corresponding force-carrying particle as well. This goes back to Nikola Tesla, to Einstein, MC square. E is equal to MC square. Now, the whole project there in Geneva is based around a particle beam generation, the colliding of particles to see what happens in these giant electromagnets like you're seeing. And Tesla was the first human that we know of in modern times that explained this energy and designed it. He had these giant electromagnets. He had also particle beam weaponry designed. But it says the Large Hadron Collider sends protons at nearly the speed of light to crash together at about 600 million times a second. When the machine is turned back on at a higher energy, in early 2015, it will collide protons at nearly twice that rate, more than 1 billion times per second. Scientists need to sort, store, and analyze the data, and that takes a lot of computing power. Guys, now we're talking about the technological side of the beast. They're using 2 supercomputers now, Geneva, Switzerland, and down in Italy. Now they're building one in Budapest, Hungary, a 3rd computer. Why would they not have them all in the same place, guys? Did you know that they have already beamed from Switzerland to Italy underground 400 miles, a beam greater than the speed of light, much greater than the speed of light through a fault zone that runs next to Rome? Now, this is inside the Geneva, Switzerland complex. It's 300 feet underground, guys. It's a giant two circles. It's a giant two circles, 27 kilometers, 19 miles, 300 feet underground. It's resonating frequencies at the speed of light all the way through the fault zones into Italy. And it's about to do a third computer setup, again in Budapest. It makes a perfect equilateral triangle. I'll show you that. It says the collider accelerates beams of protons and brings them into collision inside the four large detectors, Atlas, CMS, and LHCb. Particles are injected into the HLC, or the collider, at 450 gigavolts and boosted to 4 billion volts, nearly 10 times their injection energy. It's a giant amplifier, and it gets resonating in here so fast, guys, that they almost can't control it. And what's amazing, if you've seen the Steve Quayle report on the Hagman show, it said the last time they fired this up that it was almost opening dimensional ports like a StarGate. There were reports that people were seeing coming in and out of different dimensions, giants. Police were called. More info on that on the video on the website. But it says at these energies, a proton completes roughly 11,000 laps every second, 19 miles, 11 times in a second. They're having to keep it at 300 feet underground because it's at that depth. You're almost at 0 degrees Celsius. It's cool, and it has to stay cool. But guys, they're talking about portal dimensioning openings like Stargate. It gets better. Hold on. Now, guys, this technology, they've been dealing with this since the 50s, but this is outside the buildings in Geneva at the CERN location. And this is at a dedication of Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction, that's outside. It's kind of like the Denver airport omens. Notice that ring, like these giant electromagnets. But it says that Shiva does a dance between dimensions, between the earth and the heavens, and between the spiritual dimensions. It's talking about this dance of electrons between these dimensions. But Shiva is the destroyer. Now, who would want to open a port to let the destroyer in? Now, at the bottom, you see, this is part of the way a linear collider works. It's large underground sections and tunnels that increases acceleration to tremendous speeds. Again, 11,000 laps, 19-mile loop in a second. And again, guys are about to boost this energy beyond control, if you ask me. Now, it's important to understand what I'm saying here. It's like Robert Oppenheimer that was given the technology and information on how to build a nuclear bomb. And what did he say? He said, I have become death. Now, these guys you see sitting around here congratulating one another think they've been handed extreme technological advances. When what's happening is they've been handed the key to disaster. They've been handed a way to build the instrument needed to open the dimension to the bottomless pit. Stay with me. Now, remember in Revelation, I think it's chapter 5, it says the angel came down that had the key, are you listening, to the bottomless pit. Now, these guys are trying every way they can to open these dimensional portals, and they've got countries from around the world contributing billions suddenly. Why? Because, guys, everyone on this earth is not children of God. You think they may be getting ready to open a portal to welcome their Father, to welcome destruction. That's what Shiva is in the background in that ring of fire. Now, again, I think there's a few people in the top echelon that actually know what's going on. But this is where, again, they discovered the boson particle, BOSOM, called the God particle. And now they want to shut it down and boost it up tremendously to see what else they can open. And on Shiva's head, there's a symbol called the third eye. And it's exactly like the symbol that you see on the StarGate movies. Exactly, that's where they took it from. On the plaque that's below that statue, they talk about this. It says, however, at the CERN Linear Accelerator Center Super Collider Hadron is a statue of the dancing Shiva, is giving pride and position. We talked about this on the show the other day. The lady called in from Florida talking about the dance is above and below is the same as above as it is below. There's a cosmic dance. Listen. Cosmic dance of energy back and forth between the physical realm and the 0-point field. A constant creation and destruction of matter from the void. The continuous flow of energy in and out of the material world is the cosmic dance of Shiva. Guys, I know your ears are opening. The experiment marked the first time the creation of matter from radiation has been directly observed. Pair production, the formation of a positron and an electron, happens when electromagnetic energy interacts with matter. This is the cosmic dance of Shiva, not the propaganda of the Vatican. The Shiva is a corpse eating a man, or that the Shiva is a corpse eating a man or covered in ashes with a snake as a kundalini pet. Now, regardless of what Shiva represents, we know we're children of God and Christ is our Savior. I'm going through history and technological points here. The statue is a gift from India, celebrating CERN's long association with India, which started in the 60s and continues strongly today. Goes on to talk about the unveiling. In the Hindu religion, the form of the dancing Lord Shiva is known as Nataraj and symbolizes Shakti, or life force. As a plaque alongside the statue explains, the belief is that Lord Shiva danced the universe, are you listening, into existence and motivates it and will eventually extinguish it, the destroyer. Carl Sagan drew the metaphor between the cosmic dance of the Nataraj and the modern study of the cosmic dance of subatomic particles. Goes on to talk about it was a wax casting from India. Now, guys, this is in Geneva. Remember, there's 19 miles and more of underground tunnels there at 300 feet, but this is up where you park. This is in the main building. I want you to think, have you ever seen this structure before? I know you have in one of my videos, and some of you guys that keep up with this, you have too. Also, before I go down, I want to mention this about CERN, and this is what I was talking about, waking and giving rise to the technological beast. It says the World Wide Web began at CERN. It's a project called Inquire, initiated by Tim Berners-Lee and Robert Calloway in 1990. Said they were honored for this by the Association for Computer Machinery in 1995. It says that based on the concept of hypertext, the project was aimed at facilitating sharing information among researchers. The first website went online in 1991. On the 30th of April 1993, CERN announced the World Wide Web would be free to everyone. There's a copy of the original first web page. But guys, this is the control center. Now, this is CERN in Geneva. Again, they needed another supercomputer. Italy. Now they're building the third in that perfect triangle in Budapest. Enough computer power to run the world internet, to keep up with everything that's going on. The technological side of the beast. Now, guys, they broadcast underground, from 300 feet underground, all the way through this fault zone that runs above Italy to Gran Sasso. Then now they're building to Budapest, Hungary. See this triangle? The three main computers They're sending these electromagnetic magnets to Florida. They're already in Illinois. Heads up, be safe.